I just finished with that Mutetwa statement that the brigadier referred to, and we were busy having a discussion about it. We beg indulgence, my lord.
What?
We beg indulgence. Perhaps if we come after the short break, my lord. My lord, with respect, I'm going to ask this of the court. I'm immune to social media, my lord. This case, from the time we started on the 18th of July until today, has moved tremendously than the previous trial, my lord. So we are not going to rush justice. Justice is happening. The wheels of justice are turning in respect of the accused persons. If it was they would complain, we'll bring it to the court, my lord. So we are not going to dance to social media, my lord.
This is not social media.
That's one person hiding behind an email, my lord, and he's one of them.
What's the time now?
It's 11:03.
Okay, we'll come back at past. But you know what? Another aspect I forgot to tell you guys when you say the thing is hearsay. According to Brigadier Gininda, he took the statements. Am I correct?
Yes, this was taken by me.
Yeah, I'm looking at Baloyi. I'm asking him, do you know this and this and this and this and this? Baloyi says this and this and this and this and this. Are you prepared to swear to it on a statement? Yes, I am. Somebody like Khumalo takes an oath. He's being cross-examined now in court. And he says, Baloyi said this and this and this and this and this. And Baloyi was a witness. He has deposed to a statement. It has been discovered.
Yes.
So you're at liberty to cross-examine Gininda, Brigadier, put it to him after getting instructions that no statement was taken. And then Baloyi says there are witnesses which he is not going to use. You've got the right to call those witnesses who have made statements and who are accusing your client of A, B, C, and D. Like this gentleman, Buchelis. I remember his evidence. When he says he met accused number 2 at Rustenburg. And that's the way there was a shop there, Dodos or whatever. And then somebody was seated in a van. Gave him permission to talk to that gentleman. And that gentleman said A, B, C, and D. And of course that gentleman, like Mr. Baloyi, has been kind to us. He says he did a Volta for say. He came back and said, So we follow the evidence. We've got the right to call any witness who has made a statement, depose to it. And Mr. Baloyi hasn't called him. And you can cross-examine that very witness who made that statement before Mr. Brigadier Gininda and tell him that you were lying, blah, 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 blah. That's how you rebut this type of evidence. But you can't stop a witness from testifying on what he knows and what he was told. What could be hearsay? Perhaps it's a Wamanda, whoever he is, telling this witness, Ginanda, the lies. That's hearsay. Yes. When he's in the box here. Then you can argue that he is lying and that other witness is lying. But you can't accuse Ginanda of hearsay. When he says, I was sitting with who's that gentleman? The old man from Absalom Zoom. And he said to me this and this and this and this.
Yes.
Okay.
The court will recall the case that we quoted some few days ago on unproven statements. Specifically says if a statement was taken in the presence of the statement, that person can still vouch as to the correctness of the statement. Yes.
That's right. So.
That's what the law says.
Yeah, it's different if, like Mabena, for instance. You see Mabena? He took statements, obviously. But he's not here. He's late. So if the evidence, they want to cross-examine on that evidence of Mabena because you were, let's say, you knew that Mabena was taking a statement in front of you. They can subpoena you, for instance, if you have given evidence. And use section 3, is it? Of the evidence.
Yes.
Because he's late, Mabena. And then he, because he took the statement, he's alive. You can say, I was there, Mabena gave me this statement. Am I correct? That's the law.
Yes, that's what the law says. There's a case that we quoted.
Yeah, I know.
One way of proving a statement is to call the person who took down the statement.
Yes. And he took the statement of the person he says, told him that he knows accused number 2.
Correct, my lord.
Okay, up first.
Right.
I asked you, and I put a proposition that accused number 2 has already told the court and he will do so again should the need arise that he does not know accused number 3, 4, and 5. He only knew them on the 27th of October 2020 when they appeared together for the first time in this matter in the Boksburg Magistrates Court. Amongst your answer, you said there's a statement of Angel Mutetwa who states that accused number 2 and 4 know each other. Remember that?
No, I don't think I said accused number 2. With regard to Angel Mutetwa, the previous I was specific that it's in relation to accused 4 when his name came up as one of the suspects. Insofar as the accused, this is now accused number 2, I referred to Zifiso Zungu, which is Kwabeni. Angel Mthethwa, my lord, and I think I was clear even last week that it was in relation to say the name that was contained in the docket amongst the accused. It was only for accused 4, which was in the diary of the docket, and subsequent to that, the IO, which is Lieutenant Colonel Mthethwa, then made a statement to that effect. So it only relates to accused number 4.
Yeah, that I remember.
Mangikubuza ke umbuzo ngokuthi ke umsolwa wesibili ke uyasho ke ukuthi umsolwa wesithathu owesine nowesihlanu akabazi qala ukuhlangana nabo ke nge-27 October 2020 uphendululeke wathi ke kune statement sakhe uAngel noma ke Lieutenant Colonel Mthethwa cha ayisona engikushilo ke lokho engikushilo mayelana nestatement sakhe ke uLieutenant Colonel Mthethwa ukuthi ke kwakunegama ke elalivela ke ukuyigama lakhe ke umsolwa wesine uMaphisa yena ke wenza istatement ngokumayelana nalokho kuphela hayi ngokwazana kwabasolwa kodwa igama nje leli elalikhona nanjengomuntu okwakuyena wayephenya ngaphambilini.
Now, when we're dealing with checking whether the confession statement has got markers of reliability and unreliability, I'm going to go through with you on 4 aspects, and one of which you touched on when you testified about HH and JJ, which is the level of detail contained in that statement. Do you remember?
Yes, my lord, I do remember.
Ngiyakhumbula ke uma ke sikhuluma ngaso istatement ke manje ukuthi ke kuyini ke ebhekayo noma ke imininingwane ekhona kusona ke istatement esikhuluma ngazo ke istatement leso HH no JJ.
And you were asked by my learned colleague, and you stated certain factors that you highlighted. For example, that the statement mentions 2014, it mentions Khumalo, it mentions the phone being taken, and other factors that you highlighted. Remember that?
I remember in relation to the collaboration, my lord, because
Yes.
I was talking to exhibit HH and JJ insofar as the collaboration of the facts contained in my lord.
Masikhuluma ke manje ngale statement ezimbili ke uHH no JJ ukuthi ke la ekuhlangana khona ke uthi Mr. Kamsipile ukhulumile ke ngonyaka u2014 ukhulumile ke uKelly Khumalo kanye futhi ke nocingo yabo bengikhuluma ke lokho okhona kuHH uphinde ukuthole futhi na kuJJ.
Isn't it true, Brigadier, that this case attracted a great deal of media coverage, and it was covered across print media, electronic media, social media, and the like?
Yes, well, I suppose after the trial started, you mean?
Even before. Let's talk about even before.
Yes, it was in the public domain, my lord. I'm aware. Although I don't follow bit by piece of it, but I'm aware that it was in the media platforms.
Engikwaziyo ukuthi icala ke leli icala ke besakaza noma ebeliphuma ke nakuzona ke inkundla zokuxhumana noma sikhuluma ngawe ke iTV sikhuluma ke ngomsakazo kodwa belikhona nje icala ke ebelisakaza.
And still is, if it's been present, my lord.
Kusenjalo nanjengamanje.
And you, as investigating officers, when you liaise with media houses, there's certain information, what we call the holdback evidence, that you do not give to the media so that it's disseminated to the public. So that information will be known only by the perpetrator and the investigating team. Do you know about holdback evidence?
I'm not sure about the whole. Yes, I know what is holdback evidence, but I'm not sure as to whether there is such an understanding between the media platforms of the police and us. What I know, my lord, the police system or department is structured this way. Within the police division, like with myself as I'm reporting to the National Commission, there is a spokesperson that deals with the media. So questions are directed to that section, and then that section then will then get relevant answers and report as to what is necessary or what will not compromise ongoing investigations. That's how it's structured. But we don't have a permission to directly speak to the media, my lord. As the IO, I don't have that permission.
Thina ke mina ke angikwazi ukuthi ngakhulumisana ke nalabo ke bomsakazo noma basakazayo ke noma ke abe radio noma abe TV mina ke njengoba ngireporta ke na ke National Commissioner ukhona ke umuntu okhulumela ke umnyango ku spokesperson uma ngabe bafuna ke abe intatheli ukukhuluma naye bakhuluma naye ke
and the spokesperson, my lord, for the police is not necessarily part of the investigation. Like at the national office, that person simply focuses on the media relations. Is not part of any investigation team.
futhi ke umuntu okuyena ke okhulumela umnyango ke loyo muntu ke akasiyona ke ingxenye umuntu ke okhona ke lapha e-office noma ke national office kodwa ke akasiyona ingxenye yophela.
Now, do you know whether or not there was any holdback evidence pertaining to the investigation and the details surrounding the death and killing of Senzo Meyiwa?
My lord, I'll perhaps maybe just to get a clarity, holdback. So what I understand, perhaps then maybe I should understand the question in the proper context. So what I know, my lord, the police do not disclose the evidence in the media platform.
Yes.
They will report perhaps at the stage in which the investigation is, if it is a high-profile matter or there's a media attention to say they must comment. But the policy is that the police will not go to a media platform and articulate all the evidence. They may confirm people have been arrested, they've been linked, but they will not go into the details of what is contained in linking that person or the suspect involved, my lord.
engikwaziyo ukuthi ke uma ngaba ke abemaphoyisa ke noma loyo ke oyisikhulumi ehamba ke eya kulabo bendaba eyokhuluma nabo ke akangeke anikeze ngemininingwane noma ke asho ke ubufakazi uzosho yebo ukuthi cha yebo bakhona ke abantu ababoshiwe kodwa nje ngeke angene kumininingwane uma esiyokhuluma nabendaba.
So regarding what you term collaboration and mentioning the year 2014, what was so special about mentioning 2014 in either HH or JJ? Was that not in the public domain that this incident occurred in 2014?
Yes, it was, but when we talk about collaboration, my lord, is that what he says on Exhibit JJ, he's also saying it on Exhibit HH, and that Exhibit HH corresponds with the case itself that it occurred in 2014. So we're not talking about Exhibit HH, my lord, in JJ is a document that was written by those people taking the information from him. That is the impression of what is contained here.
Okubhaliwe ke kulana ke kulama document amabili ke sikhuluma ngayo HH kanye ke no JJ ukuthi ke ukhona u2014 ngale nangale futhi ke ukhona u2014 futhi ke iloko okwabhalwa ke ilabo bantu ke abekuyibona babebhala futhi ke lokho kuhambisana ke naloko okuqukethwe kulona ke idokodo.
In fact, when you testified regarding Exhibit HH, you said that HH is not as detailed as Exhibit JJ. Is that correct?
Yes, because you can see, my lord, that for example, specifically just to get straight to it, in Exhibit HH, there's only 2 annexures in terms of pages. If you go to JJ, just to support that, the annexures in JJ consist of, I'll just count it, my lord, so that one can be specific why I said that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It contains 6 annexed pages of the statement. So in Exhibit HH, you have 2 annexures. The other one 6. So the number tells you that there's more details on the other one than the first one.
Ushiloke ukuthi ke HH ke akanayo ke imininingwane nanje ngo JJ yebo ngishiloke uma ubheka ke na ke HH uzothola ukuthi kunama page ke amabili kuphela kodwa ke kuyena ke uJJ awu6 kuyakutshela ke lokho ukuthi ke kunemininingwane eminingi ngale kuyena uJJ.
What I'm suggesting to you, Brigadier, is this. The mentioning of Kelly Khumalo as one of the factors that we talked about as collaboration. This was also in the public domain that the deceased was shot at whilst at the then girlfriend Kelly Khumalo, right? That was mentioned in the media.
No. So because we must look at what is contained in JJ and HH and collaborate it with what is contained in the first confession, rather the confession of accused number 1, because that's how I look at the collaboration, my lord. What is mentioned in all these confessions is that Kelly Khumalo was a trigger point. That's not what was covered in the media previously, except to say the deceased was shot at the house of then the girlfriend, which is Miss Kelly Khumalo. And there were allegations of saying perhaps she may have been involved in all that, but there was no. Standing here, my lord, I do not have a recollection of someone saying in the media platform that Miss Kelly Khumalo hired people to kill the deceased. It was the first time, and it was the first time when we got hold of this accused, in particular 1 and 2. That is why, my lord, I said, up to the time we got to accused 1 and subsequent accused 2, we were dealing with what we thought was a robbery that possibly went wrong. The assertion that indicates that this was a contractual killing started forming that picture when we go to accused number 1, and thereafter it was supported by Exhibit HH and JJ by accused number 2.
Ingabe akusiyona yini into ekwakhulunywa ngayo ke kuzona ke indaba ke ukuthi ke uma eshona umufi washonela ke kwikhaya noma kumuzi ke waloyo ayethandana naye ekuyilento okhuluma ngayo ke uthi ke manje uma uhlanganisa ukuthi HH no JJ kukhona kubili ke kukhuluma ngayo Kelly Khumalo kuzofanele sahlukaniseke ukuthi ke angikaze ngizweke noma ngaphambilini ngizweke kukhona umuntu okhulumayo ke kuzona ke indaba ethi ke uMiss Kelly Khumalo uyena ke owahamba ke wayofuna abantu ukuthi ke abenze umsebenzi wokuthi kulawe yena ke umufi kodwa lokho sizohlangana nako ke uma ke uphenyo seluqhubeka ke futhi ke sekuyena umsolwa wokuqala kanye nowesibili ke ukhulumile noma ugonyulikile eqala yena umsolwa wokuqala wase naye ke umsolwa wesibili ke manje uyakusho ke lokho.
Now, as a lead detective, you receive HH with HH1 annexure that you from Colonel Rappard. What do you then do containing the contents of that statement for your investigative purposes?
You follow it, my lord. That's what collaboration is. You take it. If the court look, for example, I will make an example without, I won't go into the details of what is contained. So if you look at Exhibit HH, it was made on the 19th of June 2019. If you look at, for example, the statement and the name of Wabeni, well, so let me say HH and JJ, my lord. If you look at them, names are mentioned there. From here, which is the 19th of June when HH was made, and then subsequently the 24th of June, 2020 when JJ was made. The statements that followed in terms of the names that are contained here are after this. So you follow this in collaboration, and that is where now you'll find the names of Sifiso Zongo, Makosonge, all those things as a result of what was contained. So it was an ongoing investigation based on what I wanted to collaborate on this statement, and subsequently the identification of accused number 3, 4, 5. If one looks at the interaction, even our interaction, for example, with accused number 3, my lord, it was done on the 30th of June 2020. It was after his name was mentioned here. Same when you go to accused number 4, it was the 1st of July. It's after he was mentioned here. Same with accused number 4 was the 6th of July, number 1 was the 1st of July. It was after these statements were made, my lord.
Manje-ke wena-ke owumphenyi sikhona-ke le itatimende manje-ke ezenziwe-ke yini-ke manje oyenzayo emuva kwalokhu itatimende lezi-ke zenziwe ngayo nge-19 kanye futhi nangazo-ke i-24 June 2020 uJJ-ke uyenziwe ngazo i-24 June 2020 kunamagama-ke ashiwo lapho sikhuluma ngamagama-ke abo-ke oSifiso Zungu aboMakhosonke sekuyakhulunywa-ke futhi manje-ke nangabasolwa-ke unumber 3 unumber 4 unumber 5 uma usuka lana-ke uyalandelela-ke manje uya kulabantu uSifiso Zungu oMakhosonke lapho uthola khona-ke abasolwa-ke unumber 3 u4 unumber 5 umsolwa wesithathu yena-ke saqala ukuthi sibe nokukhuluma naye-ke ngeyi-30 zikaJune 2020 kusemuva kokuthi igama lakhe livelile la kule itatimende unumber 4 yena ngeyi-6 zikaJulayi bese kuthi unumber 1 yena ngeyi-1 zikaJulayi emuva kokuthi amagama abo eshiwo kule itatimende engikhuluma ngazo.
Also the cell phone downloads, my lord, this is what came after, because the question is what do we do now? We have these statements, cell phone downloads of the phone relating to accused number 3, tracing of the firearm up to the time when the firearm that was linked to the projectile that was found at the crime scene was also done after the statement, my lord.
Bese ngoba-ke umbuzo uthi-ke yini engayenza-ke emuva kwalokho manje-ke la sekusetshenzwa khona-ke ngama-downloads akhe umakhalekhukhwini wakhe umsolwa wesithathu bese kubhekwa-ke noma kufunwa-ke manje isibhamu lesi-ke sabe siyatholakala-ke isibhamu lesi-ke esahlanganiswa-ke nayo inhlamvu eyatholakala kwindawo yesigameko.
Accused number 2 will tell this court that when you interviewed him at Carltonville on the 18th of June. When he was interviewed in the boardroom at Pretoria North Hospital, Pretoria North Police Station, you placed certain information that you suspect that he is linked to the commission of this offense, the wayengasiye murder. But over and above, you were asking him about the names of the people that he doesn't know. For example, you were asking him about Utelezi, Mapisa, Ngani, and he kept on saying, I don't know who these people are. And you insisted that you know him, you know them from the taxi industry.
No, but that's not true, my lord. That's not true. So I'll deal with it because it's one question, but it's loaded, it's segmented, my lord. And I'll try to deal with it because it's not just one question. So the first part, I was not there on the 17th of July at Pretoria North. I said this before, and so that part is not correct. I was not there, and I was not present when he was interviewed by Sergeant Mufani. That's the first part. The second part, my lord, when I met him, and that was the 18th of June, sorry, not July, the 18th of June when I met him, 18th June 2020, I did not know the names of accused 2, 3, and 4. What I had at that stage was the confession statement made by accused number 1, which mentions 2 different other people, the Butelezis. Insofar as the statement that I had from Mr. Absalom Zungu, it mentioned him and accused 1. So that is how far my investigation was concerned, because I will not go to number 4, my lord, because in the docket itself, there were a lot of people that were interviewed and eliminated as part of the investigation. I just took interest of it because it's now before court that he was once looked at, but there were a number of them that were excluded. But insofar as the direction of the investigation as to where it was going, there were 2 people on our side, accused 1 and 2, based on Mr. Absalom Zungu's statement. There was no other statement. We've disclosed what we have, my lord. When we got to him, it is accused 2 who then brought in the other accused, that is 3, 4, 5. That's when it started now giving an indication that this matter was not literally a robbery gone wrong, it was a contractual killing. All that started as the result of the interview and the confessions made by accused number 2, my lord.
Manje-ke umsolwa besibili-ke uthi-ke laphayana eboardroom ePretoria North ngazo-ke i-17 i-17 zikaJune 2020 wena-ke unamagama-ke owawasho noma-ke umbizela wona-ke oMaphisa, aboButhelezi, aboNkani futhi-ke kuwamagama abantu labo angabazi kodwa kwakuwena umuntu owayesho lawo magama. Lokho-ke akulona-ke iqiniso okokuqala angithi nje bese ngikushilo-ke ngaphambilini lokho ukuthi ngeyi-17 zikaJune 2020 mina-ke ngangingekho lapho khona-ke la ePretoria North. Kwakungeyi-18 zikaJune 2020 mangihlangana naye-ke okokuqala umsolwa wesibili futhi-ke lawo magama lawo noma amagama umsolwa wesithathu, owesine nowesihlanu ngangingawazi. Kunamagama-ke ayechaziwe-ke noma-ke kwistatimende sasenziwe uyena umsolwa wokuqala, yena-ke washo amanye noma-ke amagama ahlukile. Kwase kuthi-ke yena-ke kwesakhe istatimende uZungu yena-ke wakhuluma ngayo umsolwa wesibili kanye futhi-ke nomsolwa wokuqala. Kungenkathi-ke manje kutholakala istatement sakhe umsolwa wesibili ekuyena-ke owafaka amagama ommangalelo noma-ke umsolwa owesithathu owesine nowesihlanu. Kodwa-ke ngaphambi kwalokho lawo magama lawo ngangingawazi. Yila-ke manje sekuzovela khona-ke noma sekuzoxhaxha khona-ke ukuthi cha lokhu-ke besicabanga noma ebengicabanga ukuthi bekuyobanjwa inkunzi kwasengahambi kahle kwakungasilona iqiniso, kodwa-ke kwayiwa laphayana ngenhloso-ke yokuthi ayobulawa umufi.
Did the confession, and I'm speaking about Exhibit HH, lead to the discovery of additional evidence against accused number 2 in particular?
Well, it was corroborated, yes, because like I said, the statement of Jack Buthelezi, I think we've dealt with it. I mean, you'd have seen it, my lord, what he says, that is evidence. If you look at the statement of Sifiso Zungu, it implicates him. If you look at the statement of Ndwandwe, it's in the docket, it implicates him in terms of confessions that he made, alleged confession that is being alleged that he made to them. So yes, there were evidence that we found that actually implicates him further into this matter, my lord.
Ingaba-ke emuva-ke kwaleso statement esogonyuluka kwakhe-ke umsolwa wesibili kukhona yini okunye okwatholakala-ke okumhlanganisa necala lokhu leli? Yebo, uma ubheka sona-ke istatement sakhe uJack Buthelezi sikhulumile ngayo, istatement sakhe-ke uSifiso Zungu, uNdwandwe la bashoyo-ke khona-ke ukuthi-ke kunento emhlanganisayo-ke nalo icala leli.
Did you locate the black hoodie that witnesses testified about, the witnesses that were in the house and other witnesses? Did you locate that?
No, I did not, my lord.
Ingaba wayithola yini-ke ihudi leyana-ke emnyama ofakazi noma abanye ofakazi abakhulume ngayo? Cha, angizange ngiyithola.
Did HH identify further any elements of the offense that were not known to you or was in the public domain?
So let me understand the question. That was understand not known to me. What was not in the public domain? Just to understand that aspect, my lord.
My apologies, my lord. I just want to arrange an interpreter for another court. My apologies.
Okay. Never mind. We shall wait so that the eyes which are watching us know why we are not proceeding. The senior prosecutor, senior interpreter is going to arrange an interpreter for another court.
Thank you, madam.
Okay, yeah. Yes, sir.
Thanks a lot. Sorry, Brigadier, let me start with that question. Did HH identify any elements of the offense or the crime that was not known to the investigative team?
Yes, it did. I mean, for example, it mentioned, as I said, my lord, accused 2, 3, 4, and 5. That was not known to us up to the existence of this document. That's the first part.
Ingabe-ke istatement lesi-ke kukhona okunye esakudalula yini okwakungaziwa ithimba eliphinyayo? Yebo-ke kwaletha-ke ngaphambili-ke umsolwa sibili, owesithathu, owesine kanye nowesihlanu esasingenabo-ke ngaphambilini kwalo idocument leli.
That the firearm or the person who had this is what the document alleges, my lord, that the person who had dreadlocks is alleged to be accused number 3.
Nokuthi-ke umuntu yilokhu okushiwo-ke noma okubhalwe lapha-ke sikhuluma-ke manje ngeyitatimende lezi ukuthi-ke umuntu-ke oyenama-dreadlocks loko okusolakala noma-ke okusolwa ukuthi kwakumsolwa wesithathu.
It further alleges that the accused 3 is the one who fired the shot that killed the deceased.
Kusho
We did not know that.
Kusho-ke nokuthi noma-ke kusola-ke ukuthi-ke umsolwa wesithathu-ke uye-ke owadubula-ke lokho okwaholela ekushoneni kwakhe umufi sasingakwazi lokho.
Let me just think what else, my lord.
Now, Constable Zungu, when he testified here, he stated, and he also states in his statement, that when he met you and Brigadier Perumal, he furnished both of you with all the information that was at his disposal. And the information that was at his disposal at the time related to the names of the suspects at the time, the 5 suspects that he said were involved in this matter, and also that he furnished the 2 photographs, or not 2, he didn't mention names, he finished photographs of accused 1 and 2 to General Nishaban.
All right, before I go there, my daughter, I was not done with what we did not know. I just want to put 2 aspects and I can move on. The other thing that we did not know is the use of a silver Polo as a getaway car. We did not know that. We also did not know that there was money or container taken from the house during this incident. That we did not know. So I just want to put that into perspective.
Uma ngizoqedelela ke ngaphambili kokuthi ke siye kumbuzo ke olandelayo ke ukuthi ke nanjengoba bengibuziwe ukuthi kwakuyini ke okunye esasikwazi noma engangikwazi ke esasingakwazi ke siyithimba eliphenyayo ukuthi ke kunemoto ke eyayisilver ipolo eyasetshenziswa ukuthi kube imoto kuhanjwa ngayo ke kamuva kokuthi isigameko senzeka nokuthi ke kwakunecontainer yemali eyathathwa ke lapho endlini.
Now, my lord, coming to our interaction with Constable Zungu with Brigadier Khumalo, I think I did indicate, my lord, that when we met him on the 13th of November, 2019, really it was to confirm that he has convinced his father and the father is willing to come forward. We met the father, my lord, on the 17th of November, 2019, when I took a statement. I don't recall the details of what he told us, but the essence of what I'm saying, my lord, is that we were moving from the angle of the information, that needed to be corroborated by the father, and subsequent on the 17th of November that year, and then I met the father, and then he gave me that statement, Mr. Absalom Zungu, my lord.
Futhi ke ngathi ke noma ke kubufakazi bakhe ke awakusho uZungu ukuthi ke ehlangana noma esehlangene ke nani ke waninikeza ke imininingwane ke yalabo bantu ke ayethi yena ke babe yingxenye ke yesameko leso sokubulawa kwakhe ke usenzo futhi amagama amahlanu kanye futhi ke nezithombe ke zakhe umsolwa wesibili kanye owokuqala kanye nowesibili. Thina ke uma sihlangana naye ke uZungu ngazo i13 ka November 2019 kwakuqinisekisa nje kuphela ke ukuthi wakhuluma yini nobaba wakhe ukuthi baba wakhe eze ngempela ke sahlangana ke nobaba wakhe nge17 ka November 2019 ubaba wakhe ke wase enikeza ngaso istatement.
Now if we can go to exhibit JJ Brigadier.
Yes, ma'am.
This was then the statement that was obtained by the magistrate on the 24th of June 2020, correct?
Correct, my lord.
uJJ